Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my night routine with a baby. My night usually starts when I finish up work, send any last emails that I have to send, and close my laptop and put it away. I'm a bit of a workaholic, and if I don't do this, I have a really hard time separating like work and personal time. Rowan's last nap usually ends anywhere between 6 and 6:30, and if he's not up naturally by then, I do wake him up to make sure that we can still get him to bed sometime between 7 and 8, because that's when he tends to fall asleep the best and stay asleep the longest. It's always really sweet when I wake him up because he always has such a big smile when he first opens his eyes and sees me, and he does the adorable little baby stretch, which is just the cutest thing ever. And I just really cherish these nights with him because I feel like it's the slowest part of our day and I'm able to kind of be the most present with him when work is over and I have nothing else on my mind other than just spending time with him, which is really sweet and special. So once I've got him up, it's time for a diaper change and to nurse him. I do nurse him right when he gets up because we're trying to create that separation between feeding and sleeping so that I don't always have to nurse him to sleep. And it's going really well so far, fingers crossed. So we do this first before we play with him and hang out with him. Breastfeeding is some of my favorite time with him. I just love to cuddle him and kiss him and play with his hair. Sometimes I do have the energy to cook dinner, but I'll be real honest with you guys. The night that I filmed this, dinner was a big old Costco pizza. There is nothing quite like Costco pizza, and it's just such a quick and easy dinner. It's not the healthiest, but sometimes you gotta live a little. And Matt and I usually just take turns holding him during his wake window so that one of us can eat while the other one is holding him, and then we switch. And tonight was Wine Wednesday in the Issaquah household, so we got these cute little wine tasting cards from Target, and we've been scoring our wine every week, and it's just kind of a fun, cute little activity that we get to do together. I got to eat first today because I was having a drink, so I wanted to make sure that I had plenty of time for that alcohol to metabolize before I had to nurse him again in 3 hours. When I was done eating, I took him from Matt so Matt could enjoy his dinner. We try to keep Rowan up for an hour to an hour and a half between naps during the day, but the last wake window of the day is usually a little bit shorter. It's usually about an hour. Then I go back to the nursery and start Rowan's bedtime routine. So first I change his diaper again just to make sure we've got kind of a clean slate to start off the night, and then I give him a little baby lotion massage. I know a lot of people do baths with their baby before bed, but Rowan has so much hair and it gets so greasy that we have to bathe him in the mornings. So this is kind of our way to signal to him that it's bedtime, since this massage is so different than anything else that happens in his day. So he kind of gets the message that the nighttime routine is starting. Then we put on his pajamas and I read him a book. Rowan is not the biggest fan of reading books, so I usually only get a few pages in. I know it's good for his development, so I do try to do it, and sometimes we'll get through a whole book, but sometimes, like tonight, he starts fussing and crying, and we only get through a few pages, and then I close it and try to calm him down because I obviously don't want to wind him up too much before bedtime. Then it's time to put him in his sleep sack. He's 3 months old now and is rolling over from tummy to back and showing signs of starting to roll over the other way. So we do have to put him in a sleep sack now instead of a swaddle, which I'm not gonna lie, has been kind of a hard transition, and it is difficult to get him to settle at night. So on this particular night, I put him down, I rocked him, I sang him a little lullaby, and he was still feeling pretty fussy, so I had to pick him back up and cuddle him a little bit. But I did eventually get him to sleep so that Matt and I could have some alone time. This is when Matt and I will eat dessert so that we do get to have at least a part of our meal together for some nice quality time. We just got this marriage journal and started it this week, and it was really cool. We always try to find a way to have some screen-free quality time before we plop ourselves in front of the TV, because I think it's really important to have those intentional conversations about your marriage and what you're struggling with and what brought you joy and how you can help each other in the coming week. So this was a really great way to check in and kind of facilitated those conversations for us. And then we did watch a little bit of Avatar because I'm loving Avatar again so much recently. It's been a great way to just kind of unwind. Usually about an episode in, I'll start getting nervous about when Rowan's gonna wake up, so I go and get ready for bed. I take my postnatal vitamin and all of my other vitamins and allergy pill, and I brush my teeth and do my skincare, you know, all of the normal end of the day activities. It always feels so good to take off my makeup after a super long day of running around and trying to get work done and taking care of the baby. So this is a really good little mini self-care moment that I try to create for myself every night. It's really important to me to make sure that it doesn't feel rushed and that I can really feel like I'm taking care of myself. Then I change into pajamas. You can tell I've been watching a little bit too much TikTok. And I moisturize my stomach and my boobs. And then I have a little check-in with my planner. So I just kind of go over my monthly goals, do all of my little habit trackers, check off anything that I have completed for that day, and check what the next day has in store for me, as well as updating my mood journal. And I love doing this mood journal because it's a really good way for me to get kind of a snapshot of my mental health. And the day that I recorded this was actually the last day of the month, so I got to write my little monthly summary and do a check-in with myself of how I'd been feeling. Then I fill up my water bottle and I set up my little nursing station to make sure that I'm all good in the middle of the night. I've got my boppy, I've got my water, the nightstand is clean, and then I start cleaning up the apartment. It's really important for me to have a clean apartment. It makes a huge difference for me in my stress level when I get up in the morning, so I make sure I always take a few minutes to do this, especially tidying the kitchen at the end of the night. Then I feed the little bunny girls. For those of you who ask where they are, they're around. We still have them. They, run around our apartment all the time, but a lot of the time they just like to hang out under the couch. Then when Rowan gets up, I will nurse him again before going to bed. I always try to make sure that this one is a really nice full feeding, and I try to get as much in him as possible because we want Matt and I to get the longest stretch of sleep that we can first thing in the night. And he usually wakes up about 2 times in the night. Then it is time for the best time of the night, which is when Matt and I get to go to bed. We have been so tired, so sinking into our mattress in the evening has just been like the best feeling ever. One thing we do before we go to sleep every night, besides saying our prayers obviously, is to tell each other 3 things we're grateful for that day. And I think that's been a really, really good way for us to keep a positive mindset and to focus on gratitude rather than anxiety. It's always a really great way to cap off our day. So that's it for my night routine with a baby. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in watching my morning routine with a newborn, I will make sure I link that for you guys. I hope you have a really great rest of your day, and I will see you all with my next video. Bye!